Welcome to ExxonMobil Presents Festival of Manufacturing, co-powered by Ace Micromatic Group.
कुछ भी चीज़ आप बनाते हैं तो अगर वो यूज़र के काम आ सकती है और वो यूज़र उसको यूज़ करके अपनी किसी भी प्रॉब्लम को सॉल्व कर पा रहा है, आई थिंक देयर इज नथिंग एल्स बेटर देन दैट व्हिच यू कैन सॉल्व फॉर एनीबॉडी, एंड दैट इज द बिगेस्ट किक. My story goes back to when I studied my graduation from Jodhpur. My schooling happened in Jodhpur. My father was in manufacturing of hydrated lime and limestone manufacturing. And my maternal grandfather obviously was associated with Birlas, and he was into the SS pipe manufacturing. So those are large units. When you go visit the factory, you get fascinated with the machinery. That's where my likelihood of how those machines work, what is the output, and getting attached to that kind of began. And when my father put the plant for hydrated lime, again it was a 90-ton plant, which was the capacity of a daily outcome. When you see that how the raw material comes in, what is the processing, and all of that kind of started or was a part of our DNA when in the growing up phase. I think choosing to be in a hardware space, choosing your first customer base to be a security agencies or your defense forces of the country is far from being easy, right? Especially when you are in a country which is more service driven. We were an IT service oriented country, so to say. Our services on that side were more known, and then on top of that, choosing a customer which is more demanding also brought a lot of challenges for us, right? I mean, initially because we started right out of colleges, right? I mean, we didn't really have our loads and loads of experience behind our back, or gray hair which are there today to go and support, especially when you're representing in front of the defense customer. These are all something that has been over years learned of how do you represent your product, what is the way that the customers would like to see. And the initial journey, right? People would not assume that a startup coming out of our country would be able to support a product which will last in the hands of a user, which will take it to as many places, which will be the harshest environment that you can find in the country. And to prove that, we had to do a lot of demonstration. We had to go have a proof of pudding done at multiple locations across the years, even till date. Again, as it says that, it's seeing is believing. Our product are tested in the most harshest environment, and then only the customer starts to believe that what you have built is something reliable. And that reliability is something that we carry till date. In the initial years, it was all about that, it seems like a college project, but it was something because we had chosen the kind of material that we would take to the users that will last, and not just copy paste of something that has already been tested. And that differentiation has taken its time to be absorbed by the users over the years. From the time when nobody knew what this product could do for them to today, it has been that whole journey of understanding that things will take its sweet time. As my other co-founders typically mention that we assumed when we started in a journey that initial 2 years we will make it big, as typically how as a young entrepreneur you feel. But having accepted that the product life itself, when the customer is asking for about 7 to 10 years, and for its acceptance to grow, it takes time to mature. And that is the evolution in our personalities over the years as well, that you have to do the small grinding, chilling, and making the whole diamond shine. It takes its own time. And when you know that something does not exist, to bring it to a place where now people recognize, more people want to be part of it, there are more supply chain that is now existing, is one of the motivations, or you can say some of the journey that we have traveled over the years, and seeing it through patiently. Otherwise it is very easy to just feel that there's nothing exists. For everything there is double effort required, and you can get demotivated. But I think that was our kick, that if in case it's challenging, then let's go attack for it. This is a story I'll connect to 2008 when the Mumbai Attacks happened, right? We were already tinkering with robotics as part of the journey. We were already making manufacturing products on alternative energies. And when we saw that attack happening and then the helicopters trying to see through the window of the Taj Hotel, it kind of sat into us and said that, yeah, had we matured the technology back then, our product would have been very useful in that scenario. And I think the time has come that we have to. See, I think we have made enough excuses over the years to say that this can't happen in India. As I said that the initial part when we took such technology in the field, the first response was that this is only made outside of India. How can this be homegrown? There was a disbelief that such technology can be built in the country. And that disbelief today stands changed. We have different manufacturing of overall optical sensors being developed in the country. There are different and various technology which are trying to solve world problems sitting in India, and that's the most satisfying part of being part of this manufacturing sector, that you are able to bring solutions which have never been thought of that India will be able to deliver. So, having spent 17 years building an industry which didn't exist in the country, or so to say, building an industry which didn't exist, we sort of were doing Make in India when the Make in India word did not exist. As I was telling you that, those parts did not exist, we had to make them. The autopilot that we wanted to make or, use did not exist. Even the software for the usage or flying the UAVs, the ground control station as we call it, did not exist. So we have been doing the whole work of co-creating or creating from ground in the country itself. The Make in India only became now. What is it helping now is, again, as you look at the drone or the UAV industry, there is now import ban in the country, right? And that import ban brings what? That basically the localization efforts, the importance of building here, using the ecosystem in India, and creating and taking those products in the hands of the user is something which is very, very important. All people who could not fly it, now the whole country got mapped into 3 different zones of being red, yellow and green. And most part of India became a green zone where you could freely fly. And the Swamitra Yojana came into being for the drone industry, wherein they wanted to map the 600,000 plus villages of the country. That was taken up by Survey of India as the mantle to go and issue the property cards for the villages. And that is where the drone usage kind of got disrupted. That if in case everybody wants to do that in the given time period, the only technology to rely on was drones. And we are slowly seeing that the drones will start to become that whole electronics tool that you typically would have seen in different manufacturing, from a weighing scale changing to miniaturized to everything, as how drones will start becoming a tool, whether it is from a mapping industry perspective to whether it is forest or even from a surveillance. These are essential tools that everybody would need to carry. And that's the change or shift which the mindset happened around the pandemic period. So introspection about how historically things have evolved and in the journey which made us what we are today. If I have to see that, I think a little more planning in terms of how faster the ecosystem could have evolved, or our limitation in the thought process to say that, okay, what has to be really built in-house to what can be really taken as a support is an evolution that has happened over the years. And it could have, if I look at historically, then that could have been a little early. But today, when I see that what people could do differently, and it is something that you try and rely also in some of the parallel ecosystem that you want to develop. You co-create or co-develop things rather than depending only on internal strengths at times. Again, that will also depend on how you build your resources over the years as well. We have been fortunate that we found the right teammates. We also were fortunate that people kept their trust with us, and that's the reason why today we have people who have been with more than a decade. And when the company itself is only 17 years and you have people who are working for more than a decade, that means that the right support came in from a people side perspective as well.
Watch his inspiring story only on festivalofmanufacturing.in, an initiative by the Times Group.